Okay, good evening. It is now 6:01 p.m. and we're going to go ahead and start our Neuse Charter School Board of Directors meeting for June 24th, 2025. I'm going to establish a quorum and call the meeting to order. First, we'll do a roll call to establish a quorum. Nicole Booker.
Here.
Jason Guy.
Here.
Chris Kaiser.
Here.
Jeremy Pierce.
Here.
Lindsay Spain.
Here.
And Benji Woodard.
Here.
Okay, I now call the meeting to order at 6:01 p.m. We'll begin with our ethics statement and conflict of interest reminder per NCGS 138A-15E. Board members are reminded that it is our duty to avoid conflicts of interest and the appearance of conflicts of interest as we handle the work of this board. Does any member of the board know of any conflict of interest or any appearance of conflict with respect to any matters coming before us at this meeting? If so, please state them for the record. If during the course of the meeting you become aware of an actual or apparent conflict of interest, please bring the matter to the attention of the meeting chair. It will then be your duty to abstain from participating in discussion on the matter and from voting on the matter. All right. We will start now with our meeting minutes approval for April 2025, and I will entertain a motion for the approval of our April minutes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay. I will go ahead and call for a roll call vote. Nicole?
Aye.
Jason?
Aye.
Chris Kaiser?
Aye.
Jeremy Pierce?
Aye.
Lindsay Spain?
I'm abstaining since I wasn't present.
Okay. Benji Woodard?
Aye.
And I will vote aye as well. Motion carries. Minutes are approved. We do not have any public comment. And before we go into closed session for personnel discussion, Dr. Blackwell, we had someone who was present to go ahead, or is that for closed session?
It's for after closed.
For after closed session. Okay, so we're now ready for our personnel discussion. Okay, I will entertain a motion to go into closed session for personnel discussion pursuant to NCGS 143-318.11A6.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion. Second, any discussion? Okay, I will do a roll call vote. Nicole?
I'm sorry. Who made the motion?
Everybody.
Okay, I'll give it to Jeremy, and then who did a second?
Nicole.
All right.
I'm good.
Okay. Nicole?
Aye.
Jason?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Benji?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. I will see everyone in closed session. Following closed session, we will rejoin to finish out our open session agenda. Okay, we are now back in open session following closed session for personnel discussion, and I will entertain a motion for personnel approval.
I make a motion we approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Jeremy to approve the personnel recommendations by Dr. Blackwell, second by Nicole Booker. Any discussion? Hearing none, I will go ahead and call roll call vote. Nicole?
Aye.
Jason?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
And Benji?
Aye.
Motion carries, and the personnel recommendations are approved. And Dr. Blackwell, do we have Dr. Blackwell?
I'm here.
Okay. Go ahead, and I believe you had wanted to go ahead with a presentation from Kathy.
Yes. So when we met with the finance committee, they had suggested it at some point. It might be helpful for Kathy to just come on and kind of give a state of how things are going for us. I know you all hear it from me, but it's also nice to hear it from somebody besides me. And she can probably give a better overview of it as well. So we were able to get her here this evening, and I think she is online to just give a quick little summary of how we're doing.
Great. Thank you. Kathy, if you are there, you can go ahead. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you hear me? Are you? Okay. All right, great. Thank you for having me. This was a nice invitation. I am, just a little history. I am one of the former owners of Acadia North Star. And after the acquisition, I took a slight, almost a year retirement, and they asked me to come back in January. So I've been back since January, working with them, working with the executive team, working on budgets and special projects and things, and just helping them with all of the schools, with the relationships, with all of the clients, and it's nice to be back working with everybody. I called Melissa and asked her. I said, "Can I, come and see you and Amanda?" And we had a great chat, and we had several conversations after that. Our team came back out, and we met with them to go over the budget and work on some of the areas that need a little improvement. And I think we've come a long way in a short amount of time. The things that we do for you, we do all of your accounts payable, we pay all of your bills, all of your payroll, we work with you on your budget, we work on your federal grants, making sure that everything is spent within compliance of all of the rules and regulations of the Department of Public Instruction, which we know can be very tedious at times and very time consuming. We work with you on your audit, which is what's coming up now. We'll be working on closing out the year in the next week, and then working with your auditor in the upcoming months to make sure that everything is recorded, reported, and filed by the October 31st deadline. That's a big date, and we want to make sure that our internal target dates are, we will have everything done by the end of August to present to your auditor for them to have a month and a half to review everything and get everything done by that October 31st deadline. Some of the auditors will, look for an extension. It won't be needed. Downtown at DPI, they look at, or the Charter School Review Board, even though the extension is okay, they look at October 31st as the deadline. So we are reminding all of the auditors that is the date that we want to have everything done, if not before. And then always keeping you in compliance, all of your state reporting, making sure that everything is where it should be, coded properly, deadlines are met, just communication with the school. So an overall budget review. I know you've had a long meeting so far, so I just want to kind of give you a summary on where we're at, some of the highlights. And then I'd like to offer, if the Finance Committee is open to a meeting with us, I'd like to bring the team and come to one of your meetings and go through the budget that we have, where we're finishing this year in more detail, but again, in what we did and how we prepared the budget for next year, just all of the details and just how that's just a planning budget for right now. It's a great start. We're looking at using this year's dollars per child. You're looking at starting with a surplus of about $87,000, which is fantastic. We know that the numbers are going to change based on dollars per child and what that budget will look like. But it's a great way to start the year. So kudos to all of you. We have built in the salary schedule that you want. There's a nice increase in the health insurance and also in the retirement. We've accounted for all of that, and we're still looking at having a surplus. And again, using this year's dollars per child. So it was a great planning session with Melissa and Amanda. They put a lot of thought into it. So I hope you all sleep well at night knowing these two ladies they're amazing. Wish we could clone them, but they do a good job for you. And, for all the schools that we work with, they stand out. To highlight some of the good things for this year, you've had an exceptional year. The preliminary budget, now please don't hold me to these numbers. They are going to change because of the accrual period coming up in July and part of August until we actually close out the year. but you're looking at about a surplus of between 300 to 350,000, and I'm being conservative. So we have had a lot of exciting things that we were able to do this year, or you were able to do. You did your end of year staff bonuses and the athletic bonuses. You did the big leadership retreat in June, which I hope everybody had a great time. They were very excited to be able to do that. You put in the concrete pad, you did the playground renovations, you did the whiteboards, the 100 new Lenovo laptops, you put in the athletic trophy case, or the plans are there for that. All of that done, and still looking at a surplus of between 300 to 350,000. So well done. It was a fun meeting. It was like Christmas time, watching them, trying to think of all of the great things that you could do for the staff. So it was the budget looks very, very strong. And again, same thing for next year. We're starting off strong, and it can only get better, because any increase in the dollars per child is going to go right to the bottom line for you to do other projects if you wish to. So that's just a quick summary of where we are this year and how it's looking on the finish, and then where we're at for next year. Do you think that the Finance Committee would be interested in having a meeting with us to go through in more detail? We can do it in, maybe about an hour and a half, and we can go through everything. So we can go through line by line, so everybody understands what's in these lines. So when you're looking at the budget, it will make more sense on what is there, and what, if you have plans for other projects or things, we can build those in.
I think that's a great idea. I'm not on Finance Committee, but our current Finance Committee chair, or Financial Oversight Committee chair, is Jason Guy. And I believe we are electing officers for our committees, committee chairs, and so forth tonight. So,
yeah, I think that whoever that is will probably, I think after we get through the 10-day census and look at some more final numbers, that might be a good time to dive in and do that.
Okay. All right. Well, the offer is there. Whatever works for you. If we can do it before the school year starts, just so we can get everybody on the same page, and just have a good, team working forward, and everybody understanding where we are and what the next steps will be once the new numbers come out, and what those updates will look like.
Kathy, I'd be happy to help coordinate that too once we get past our meeting this evening. Yeah. Thank you for offering.
Absolutely. So does anybody have any questions, or?
No, just thank you for coming out. It's so nice to put a face with the name Acadia. It's been been dealing with you all for so long, and to put a face. Thank you for coming to our meeting.
Absolutely. Thank you for the invitation.
great. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, everybody have a good evening, and we'll coordinate a date, and we'll get to see you again soon.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay. I don't believe we have any guest discourse, correct, Dr. Blackwell?
Just Kathy.
Okay.
Yeah, I just put that I put Kathy's presentation under that.
Perfect. Correspondence from our authorizer?
No, kind of, but I'm going to tell you about it in my report.
Okay. Superintendent report.
Yes. All the documents are in the shared drive. I have 4 things for you this evening. And the first is something that I am super excited about. I'm going to attempt to share my screen. Yeah, it was doing this earlier. I don't know what that means. We're going to try. Window? I don't know. Let's see what happens. Can you all see that?
Mhm.
Okay, so the first one is that Neuse Charter School on May 9th received the Purple Star designation, meaning that we are a military-friendly school. This was a tremendous undertaking, spearheaded by Mrs. Wins, formerly Miss Conley. She got married. So congratulations to her. And just as a little bit of background, this came into existence in the 2019-2020 school year. And since the first year of its inception, there have been a total of 46 charter schools in the state of North Carolina that have received this designation. There are over 200 charter schools in North Carolina, and we are absolutely thrilled to be one of those. You may notice that if you can zoom in quick enough, you can see it says Neuse Charter Academy. There were a few hiccups with getting our award, and so we're still waiting on a couple of things because we got left off the list. It's not a big deal. We're still excited. We have our award. We were present for the presentation. There's the timeline of the award itself, but anyway, we're still waiting on the press release so that we can share that out with our community. They did send out a press release, but we were left off of it. So we're waiting on that. But anyway, we're really excited that we are able to add our name to this list of schools for this purpose. It's really important to Mrs. Wins. It's important to our school community, and it was a tremendous honor to be one of the 13 charter schools this year that received this designation. So that was our guest speaker. I don't know if you all are familiar with that name. I honestly, I was not, but he was an exceptional speaker, and we really enjoyed our time there receiving that award. So I just wanted to share that with you all. It was super exciting. And we will be able to have the icon put on our school website. It can go in a variety of places that will make it very clear to anyone who moves into the area, particularly in Goldsboro, Seymour Johnson, that Neuse Charter is a military-friendly school, and we are the only charter in the county to have this designation. So there's that. Okay, the next thing on my list is the 25-26 board meeting schedule. So I have it linked here. I can, all I did, and this is what I do every year, I just take the past year's meeting dates, look at where the fourth Tuesday of every month, and I put this together for you all, which has to be voted on and approved, and then we can post it and share it with DPI. The only thing that we need to draw attention to, there may be more things, but the one thing that's jumping out at me is the November 25th meeting date. That is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And that also happened to us this year, and we ended up pushing it to the second week of December. So I thought it might be easier if we went ahead and tried to figure that out tonight, and then that way it doesn't creep up on us and we have to kind of sort it out in November.
So would that be over Thanksgiving break as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Could we I'm just going to say December is a terrible month for me. There's just a lot going on. Is it possible that we could move it the week before that Tuesday, November 18th? I just find December to be very crazy with trying to finish up school. Work's going crazy. I have a lot of personal commitments that I do through my church and things like that. It's just a lot.
Lindsay, I agree.
I think that's a lot it's a lot for everybody. I
Maybe-
think that
Maybe November 18th instead of the 25th.
Mm-hmm.
that works for me.
If that works for everybody, I'll change it. And
Is
then
there anyone that it does not work for? Is there anyone who disagrees with that? Okay, so it sounds like November the 18th it is.
18th is good. I will say, can we get just some calendar marked on our Google calendars for that, please, through our Google email address.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a great idea.
Because I live.
Another great idea.
Look, that is two. I need to quit now. 2 in one night.
Did you get that in the minutes, Lindsay?
Okay. All right. Well, then that just needs your the board's approval, and then we'll get that posted and sent up the ladder to DPI.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the 25-26 Board of Directors meeting schedule?
Go ahead.
Motion to approve the schedule with the changed date. Oh, you changed it. Perfect. Motion to approve.
There's a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the Board of Directors scheduled meetings for 25-26 school year? Hearing none, I will call for a vote. Nicole?
Aye.
Jason?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Benji?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries, and the Board of Directors meetings for 25-26 are approved.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for that. The next is requesting approval to continue using Acadia/Prestige as our financial services provider for the 25-26 school year. We had, this is the contract. The short version is that they're leveling their fees as they were this year. There's no increase in price in terms of how they scale their fees. And we had some discussion previously about considering other alternatives, I think, based on the, Kathy referenced some improvements that needed to be made. That was not on the school's end. That was on Prestige's end. And I feel really certain that with the level of support she's providing to the team and to our account executives, that we are going to be better served continuing with their services than switching to a different provider. And so therefore I'm bringing this contract to you all, asking for your approval to continue with Kathy and her team for the next school year.
So is Prestige formerly known as Acadia?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the Prestige School Solutions LLC engagement letter?
I move to approve Prestige School Solutions for next year.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the engagement letter or contract? Okay, hearing none, I will go ahead and call for a vote. Nicole?
Aye.
Jason?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Benji?
Aye.
Motion carries, and the engagement letter is approved.
Thank you. Okay. The last thing I have for you is the employee handbook. Now, last year when I presented this to you all, you asked if we could either track the changes or identify clearly the things that had been changed, revised, added, all of the above. So what I did this year, instead of the document is linked in my report, but this 25-26 employee handbook update document is in the shared folder. But these are all of the things that have changed. I will tell you that our attorney wrote all of the additions. She has included in those any general statutes that have changed or updated. And everything that has been added is at either a requirement or strongly encouraged by our attorney. So you can see these are the page numbers where the changes have been made. I also went into the handbook and I highlighted the sections so that you could easily find them as well, but I will just go through very quickly. The equal employment statement has been added, the disability accommodations.
Dr. Blackwell, when you go through these, if you will identify if it's the whole section is a new addition or if there are just changes that were in there from last year. If you'll identify when you go through.
Everything that says addition is an addition.
Never mind, I see that now.
No, that's okay. That's okay. There's only 2 of these where there were revisions to existing policies.
Okay.
But everything else is an addition, meaning our handbook was not 113 pages last year. It is now, because of all of this. So the equal employment statement, the disability accommodations, use of social media and electronic resources. So there is a summary in there, like the addition of that summary, because that's a really meaty policy. So she just summarized it at the end, kind of bolded it, like just in summary, this is what you really need to take away from this, because it's a 3-page policy. Relationships with families. The next 2 are revisions. I'll come back to those. Then we have the arrest and conviction policy addition, the employee compensation and contract policy addition, workers' compensation addition, the leave rule blackout days addition, special FMLA rules for school employees, partially paid parental leave, training and professional development, public records and school records, grade inflation, sexual abuse and molestation, North Carolina Address Confidentiality Program, and the unsafe NCS Choice Option Addition. I left that last word off, but all of those are new and have been included. In fact, Lisa wrote them, and what you read in there in any of those are from her. The 2 that are revisions, I have noted what has been changed. So the nepotism policy, an intro paragraph was added, item number 3 was added, and then on the next page, she added paragraphs 2 and 3. I know I'm going really fast. I don't expect you all to keep up, but I want you to just kind of understand what all this is, right? And then the grievance revision, which has been something that we've been talking about. She reformatted it. She added in a timeline, and then she removed the grievance committee because it was redundant to the board action. So the grievance committee came off of last year's, and item number 4 was added this year.
Is that also going to be updated in the student parent handbook?
Yes. So there will be no more confusion about that as well. So the reason I'm bringing this one to you first and not the student one is 2 reasons. One, the employees come back before the kids do, and we need to make sure that we get this to them. We've got a little bit of breathing room with the students. And the second reason is because at our retreat, there was some input from the staff about some policy work and some policy revisions and wording. And so we are actually getting them all back together July 7th. They wanted to come back together. They actually wanted to spend more time doing this work, which was really awesome. And so I'm going to give you like a full rundown of that whole experience in July once we get through this. But I want to make sure that if they have any material changes to anything that's in that student handbook, that we have enough time to put those in there before we get that to you. But again, what you have here is all of the additions and the 2 revisions and what those revisions are. So I will take any questions that you have right now. And again, these are all from our school attorney, who has had a very heavy hand in this. In fact, when all of the things started coming out, she offered to write policies for us and all of her clients so that the messaging was the same, the wording was the same, and therefore the compliance level would be the same.
Dr.
So the
Blackwell, I had a question about the employee. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Chris, you go ahead.
No. So is this available for us to see now, the handbook for next year, or are
Yeah.
you still working on it? I can't.
No,
I
it's
don't know where to
ready.
find it.
It's linked in the superintendent report. I thought
Okay.
it was.
It is. It's in there.
Yeah, it's right here, Mr. Kaiser.
Got it. Okay.
And it's here too. It's
On page 69, I had a question about the employee. Very sorry about that.
Is
Someone-
everybody okay?
Everyone is okay. Someone sneezed. Hang on one second. Okay. The employee compensation and contract policy. So I guess that would be like to specific contracts. I'm guessing, that would not, I just want to make sure that doesn't impede us from, if we, to address broad pay changes or pay structure or.
no, this is specific to like the role.
Okay.
The contracts or the work agreements are issued as such. This is the position that you have, and therefore this is the compensation that you have. Those conversations would only, like for revisions, would only take place if the position changes,
Okay.
which would then change the compensation. So if someone went from full-time to part-time, like there would need to be a contract revision for that. But yeah.
I have two questions on the arrests and convictions policy on page 69. The first is when it says a traffic citation, other than a traffic citation, such as a speeding ticket, are you all wanting them to report like if they're charged with driving while impaired? Because I could see that there might be some ambiguity on whether that is something that they would have to, because DWIs in a lot of counties are heard in traffic court. So I could see they could say, oh, I didn't know I need to say anything because it was just a traffic ticket. It's not. I mean, it's a misdemeanor, but someone that's just reporting to traffic court to have their DWI heard may say, oh, I'm not sure on that. The other question I had was, what about do you have certain folks that are approved to drive NCS vehicles?
We do.
And I think that those folks, if they are convicted of any sort of a traffic violation, may need to report for insurance purposes to you all. I think Jeremy may know better on that than I do, but I'm thinking that it could affect your insurance if they get a speeding ticket, right? Which normally doesn't matter for their employment, but they may need to report because of the insurance.
Okay. Where's Jeremy?
I'm right here.
I see a phone call taking place at some point about that.
Yeah, we can talk about that later.
Okay. Well, the way that reads to me is that employees arrested or convicted of a crime for any reason other than a traffic citation, such as a speeding ticket, unless they're driving a Neuse vehicle, and then they have to also tell us about the speeding ticket. But I could probably, we could reword that. So it's
I think what Lindsay's saying is whether they're driving the NCS vehicle at the time of the speeding ticket, even if they're driving their own vehicle at the time of the speeding ticket, that they may still need to report it if they are authorized or approved to drive an NCS vehicle.
Correct.
I will say commercial insurance and personal insurance are different. So it all depends on the carrier.
And because I'm thinking that it could potentially hurt someone's eligibility to remain as an approved driver if they get something like a careless and reckless or a too high of a speeding ticket, or they're convicted of something that puts points on their license or their insurance. It could hurt their eligibility to remain as an approved NCS driver, even if they were to get that in their personal vehicle, because it's what's following their license and their own personal driving record that allows them to be eligible.
And I think we just need to know that,
Okay. So how, let me, hold on.
I would put a separate sentence in there that if you are an approved, if you are approved driver or whatever you say for for NCS that can drive NCS owned vehicles, you must alert of any traffic violation, even in your personal vehicle.
Okay.
Does Neuse Charter have a policy where we pull MVRs every year?
Hold on one second, Jeremy. If you are an approved Neuse Charter School driver, then you must report any traffic violation to the school, even if it is in your personal vehicle. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry, Jeremy. What was your question?
I was just asking, do we have a policy where we pull motor vehicle reports every year?
We do not pull motor vehicle reports every year.
Maybe something we look into.
Yes. Okay.
I'm muted, sorry. But we do pull those when the person is initially applying to drive, but we don't do it yearly.
Not for everyone. Like it's not an everybody pull. It's not like everybody has to go through everybody has to go through a background check, but in order they request to be a driver for certain things. And then we have to do the legwork on that to determine if they are eligible. Yeah. And that's from the insurance. But we don't do it every year because our staff changes. So we just do it as they request to be a driver. And then if they continue, we pull, but we don't do it for everybody. I don't think I'm explaining this well. I don't know. I don't know the language, Jeremy.
I don't think you add them to your insurance unless you pull their driving record. Right. That's what you're saying. Like you're not doing it for all staff across the board. You're just doing it on an as needed basis, but you are pulling the driving records for anyone that's added to the insurance.
Yes. Thank you, Lindsay.
But at some point you should pull everybody who is an authorized driver. And if you don't, the company should, I guess.
Yeah. We check it as they continue to be drivers for us.
Correct.
Okay. If you're an approved Neuse driver, you must. Are there any traffic violation? Okay. All right. I can add that line in to that section. That's a really great catch.
A lot of references to employee, employer, but I don't see any definition of what an employee is.
It's in there multiple times, depending on the section. Yeah.
It's defined differently by different
yeah.
statutes and federal regulations. So a lot of it depends upon what particular
Yeah.
policy you're looking at.
Like I'm just trying, like, again, we've got teachers, we got staff, we got seasonals, we got 1099s, we got W-2 employees. But I think in referring to employees in all of these areas, does that imply does anybody who gets a tax document from Neuse considered an employee?
That is dangerous language.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
I mean,
sure, because it doesn't.
Because again, if you're looking in the from a labor standpoint, labor regulations, workers' comp, there's a huge difference between an independent contractor and an employee. And lots of penalties for mischaracterization. But
And
Yeah,
same
I'm
thing
just-
goes when you're talking about tax versus just, liability. I mean, they're all different kind of definitions of employee. So
And they are, I mean, they fluctuate in this handbook based on what the particular topic is. I'm trying to find the very first one, and I have read this thing way more times than I would like to tell you, and I continue to find little hiccups and things. Just a comma here, a comma there. I don't know if maybe that's upside down.
Jason, I think I see where you're coming from, like having a distinction between not just, well, like a traditional employee versus the seasonal employee versus contractors.
Yeah. How does it impact? Like from just one of these sections, like from a nepotism standpoint, like how does an employee still count as a family member of a staff member if they're hired for summer work?
I don't have an answer to that question, but I found a typo that on page 90.
I've just said every time I look through it, I find one more little thing.
It's just because I was reading it because it's one of the new sections, but it's under the training and professional development, that next to last line, it says in working at our NCS. I think it should just say in working at NCS with our students and our community.
Yes, thank you. So you've got one on page 14 that says, and this is specific to the code of ethics for educators, here and referred to as educator or professional educator. So there's that definition for that one, educator, and then it will switch to employee. Switches on page 17 to testing code of ethics. What I hear you say is that we need to consider including the definition of any nuanced. Well, yeah, I guess it is, because it is nuanced. Employee, whether that's full-time, part-time, and then volunteer. And that could just very simply just be on the very beginning before the mission and the vision. It wasn't included.
Yeah, I think just a definition up there of making sure that that's clear. Again, I don't know. I think that's a Lisa. I'm not trying to create labor law on this by any means or be the expert. That's why I brought this up, is that it feels like we're referencing the word employee a lot through here, and in any different section, the term employee could feel like a very different.
So I guess if we, the danger in having one broad definition, or Now, if we're just, I don't know that it says this in here. I'm just kind of giving an example. If you define an employee to be all individuals, working seasonal, part-time, full-time, what have you, but then you get down to a section that's related to benefits. Well, seasonal employees are not really entitled to, benefits like insurance and things like that. So, and I'm not saying again that it says that. I'm just kind of giving that as an example of just the danger, though, of putting in a broad definition.
I do know though that in certain areas it is redefined based on the policy, and I think because I
think there's some statutes or regulations that specifically address the definition in that particular statute.
Yes, and when that happens, it's in here. It's just taking me a minute to get to it. There's only 113 pages. Okay, on page 50.
Is this the teacher summer reading?
Right, yeah. So fun. On page 50, under human resources, it says employee classifications and definitions, sorry. For the purposes of this handbook, all Neuse employees are classified according to the following: full-time regular employees, regular part-time employees, casual employees.
There we go. Look at you. There's what
I knew it was in there. It's just take me a minute. And then it also adds in exempt and non-exempt. And then past this, you start to see full-time employees, or a difference based on employment records, compensation plans, work hours, that kind of thing.
So there's all those definitions.
Dr. Blackwell, can you scroll down a little bit in that document?
On this?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Just tell me when. Where am I going?
Keep going. Okay, stop here. Oh, that's the table of contents. I was looking for the document of changes. I'm sorry.
I have two suggested changes.
Okay.
The first is on page 97, where it talks about the public records and school records.
Yes.
I would include a cite to the public records law. So I would just say pursuant to chapter 132 of the North Carolina General Statutes.
Okay.
So if people have questions about that, they can just go look it up. And then on page 100, under the sexual abuse and molestation policy, at the very end of that, there's a quotation mark, but there's no beginning quote on that. So,
I see it. Yep. Okay. I'll get rid of that. Thank you.
And in this same section, I know that the staff uses it as training every year for safe school training. does that need to be in here too? This is an employee handbook, you know, they are required to do safe schools training. Is that already in here?
That is a great question, Mr. Kaiser. You know, we love our bloodborne pathogens.
Oh my goodness.
Let me see.
There's not going to be a quiz on this, is it?
There's a big quiz on that training, I promise.
I will tell
Well,
you.
I'm talking about on the handbook.
This one is a walk in the it's a walk in the park compared to the revisions to the student one. So there's that. You know, I'm gonna have to do a search on it because I'm not 100% sure that it is. Let's see what we can find. They're called vector trainings. They are not. It's not in here. I would think it would be somewhere around here. Oh gosh, it's going to take forever to load. I'm just going to go
I
to.
was looking like on page 90 where I think it starts training in professional development. Maybe something like that. Or even maybe put it near page 100 or 99. Where you're talking about more of the safety features.
Mm-hmm. What am I trying to get to? Let me see where I'm going. Yeah, page 90. It's going to take forever to do that. Let me just do it this way. We could certainly add it into that to the training and professional, because it's required by law for us to do it and be 100% compliant.
Yes, and that's something that, yeah, there's not in there like a mentor would tell their mentee that they didn't know it already, but yeah, it wouldn't be a surprise for a new employee.
Yeah. I'll add in safe schools training. Okay.
I was looking also on page 70, about 72, about the earned leave. Did we work on a revised schedule for earned leave, for annual leave?
We did for it's in alignment with the retention bonus, so that they would earn more time depending on their level of tenure at Neuse. Yes, they would be eligible to earn more time than people
than the
have been here.
Yes. And I don't know, is that in here somewhere? I couldn't find where that references the schedule.
Yeah, because we consider it bonus leave, which I don't know that. That bonus pay scale and the leave scale are in the overall salary
Compensation.
scale, the board approved the board approved salary scale. I don't know that I'd want to put in here. Let me retract that. I don't know why it's not in here. I think it very well could just be one of those things that there's so much in here already that it just didn't really even kind of dawn on us because it existed elsewhere.
Dr. Blackwell was going to say to the comment that Lindsay made about the traffic citation. I think it is somewhat addressed on page 95 and 96. So just make sure whatever you add in the upper section does not conflict with what's already on page 95 and 96, or just make sure they're consistent.
Well, it says any tickets received while driving for Neuse business are to be reported to your supervisor and the superintendent within 48 hours.
But there is a under the criteria that may indicate an unacceptable record over a rolling 12-month period include but are not limited to 3 or more moving violation tickets, 2 or more at-fault accidents, whether the driver is the primary contributor through speeding, distraction, etc. If the insurance company considers the employee uninsurable because of too many points on his or her driver's license, then the employee will be prohibited from driving on behalf of NCS.
Yeah,
So just make sure if you do anything up above, that just make sure it's consistent and doesn't conflict with what we've got down there.
Okay. And I don't think it hurts to have it in 2 places either.
You can even cross-reference it. You can say for more detailed information, please see this part of the policy.
Maybe what we could do, Mr. Kaiser, in that leave section is we could just connect it to the board approved.
Yes. Sure. That makes sense.
Yeah, that was a good catch. Bonus leave.
But did they see that kind of schedule in their work agreement? Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
And just to clarify, did you say that the grievance policies now align between this and the board policy?
You mean you're talking about the policy that's in the student handbook?
Yes, that's what. Yes.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm answering for you, Dr. Blackwell. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. It's fine. It's been a long day. It's fine. Thank you.
You might need a little reprieve being in the hot seat. But it's not been up. In other words, it's not the new updates for the student handbook have not been approved yet. That's coming next. No, not tonight, but
No, not tonight.
no.
It was too much. It was too much to try to do it all at once.
Now you put a lot of work into this, and a lot of work.
Yeah, when we were working on some things with the teachers at the retreat, we kind of pulled the curtain back and showed them all kinds of things that they didn't know, and they were just like, "Wow, this is a lot." It is. It's all right. I think they had a bit of a different perspective on some things that I think will be beneficial to them. bonus leave, page 72. Okay. And then the driving on page 69, link to page 90.
Are you wanting us to approve this tonight, or what is the, or what was the goal for us?
Well, the goal was to get you all to approve it tonight, understanding that that probably wasn't going to happen. With, the,
Just as a reminder, we do not meet in July.
oh,
Unless we recall a special meeting for this specific purpose.
we may need to call a special meeting for the handbook purpose.
I mean, that might be the most efficient thing for us to do at this point.
Mm-hmm.
What do the other board members, what do you think about that?
I'm open for that.
Lindsay, were you getting ready to say something?
I was just going to say, if we're going to do that, can we just handle that and the student one at the same time, but have them sent out so that we can review and don't have to spend a lot of time at the meeting reviewing? We can just send over any comments we have ahead of time. So maybe we can just discuss them and then very easily dispense of it.
Mm-hmm. I think that would be great. Just keep in mind that I probably will not have the student handbook ready for you all, depending on the outcome of the second day of the retreat, because the very first time we could get together was July 7th. And depending on how that goes and if there are significant changes that we need to make, we need to run those by Lisa before I can get them in the handbook and get them to you. So I will do my best to get it to you as quick as I can, and I can update you on how that's looking after we have the second day of the retreat on the 7th. But I can get all these changes made. I can track them in the doc and send this back out to you all so you can see that that's done. And then that should be, this should take about 3 minutes.
That would be good. Then we could go ahead and start reviewing that.
Mhm.
And then once you meet on July the 7th, if you could give me an update, then I can email the board and try and get together a date that works for everybody.
Okay, absolutely.
Is there anybody opposed to that idea? Okay, that sounds good. Was there anything else under the superintendent report?
No, and if you all are satisfied, I'm going to allow Kathy's presentation to serve as a financial report.
That works for me.
Okay, there we go.
All right, so we're going to move on into the standing committee reports. Did governance committee meet, Nicole? I don't think we didn't meet.
No, we didn't.
And we will address the board terms and elections under new business. Financial oversight.
We did meet, although I think we do have. Do we need to? We don't need to do contented cows then, do we? If we're waiting on the new proposal. We approved to renew in the financial oversight, but then we talked about doing something different tonight. So
I'm wondering if that would be just a whole nother proposal.
Okay.
I don't
All right.
I don't know. We didn't clarify, and I don't know if they're going to put together a whole nother proposal that will include everything, or.
well, let's just move forward with what we had, and then we can readdress what new stuff they bring us. So in the finance committee meeting, we reviewed a proposal to continue with our work with contented cows. Our survey and for staff, help me out. What's the word I'm looking for?
Engagement. Our employee engagement survey.
No, it's 8:30.
Yes.
It's been a long day. We met. We wanted to bring it to the board. I didn't see it in our folder. The proposal, Melissa, is it in there?
Hold tight.
Okay.
Let me I had so many things to put in there. I could have completely missed it. I will grab this and this and oh gosh, I'm downloading it. Okay, all right, we're going back.
Yeah, I mean, it is a pretty straightforward, and the finance committee didn't, or finance oversight committee didn't have any objections, but we do need to bring it for approval to the full board. We've already voted on the Prestige, and the other contract that we reviewed was for pest control, and due diligence was done, and multiple quotes were gotten, and then the other quote of the other company we got was bought by the first company that we got the quote from. So I think we're good with that quote as well. I had to throw that in there. I thought it was kind of funny. That doesn't typically happen. So those were the big things from the finance committee, were the contented cows proposal and the pest control that we wanted to bring to the board for approval. And then also just a reminder, we talked about it a little bit already, but board of directors giving day, make sure we make our gifts before the end of July. So then Melissa can move forward with the staff fundraising campaign for the fall. So I am open to a motion to approve the contented cows proposal as approved by the Financial Oversight Committee.
That is now in the drive, in the meeting drive, and just it's a $3,500 per year, which I think is consistent, I think, with what we've done in the past, or per survey, I guess.
So moved.
No.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the contented cows proposal. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call roll. Nicole?
Aye.
Jason?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Benji?
Aye.
Motion carries. What about so that is the contented cows proposal is approved. What about the pest control?
Pest control, is it in there too, Melissa?
It is. I put the contented cows and then the agenda from our meeting, and I believe it's linked in that. I thought it was. Yes, it is.
Here it is. I found
Number
it.
3. Yeah. Oh, but yes. I don't.
It just takes
It loops. It's a loop.
Okay, hang tight. I don't know what I did wrong, but it's in there. Hold on. Let me undo that link. Okay.
Jason, was there another one other than the pest control?
Nope, that was the only other. Those were the only two. We've already voted on the Prestige.
Right, that's right.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I was spelling it wrong. It's Arusa. All right. Oh, gosh. Okay, now it's in there. So pest control, ARUZA.
So that is a $300 a month contract that the finance committee approved and brought to the board. Is there a motion to approve it as presented?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the pest control as presented.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? I have a question. How does that compare to what we're currently paying? And I'm sorry if you already said this.
I don't know that we said it, but we reviewed it and it was, I think it was comparable. And I think that we're going to get a lot better service out of this.
Okay. Any further discussion or questions?
This is it's locally owned, good reputation.
Okay. If there are no further questions, I'll go ahead and call for a vote. Nicole? Jason?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Jerry?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Benji?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries and the pest control contract is approved. Anything else from financial oversight?
That was it from us.
And Benji, I don't think risk management committee met. Do you have anything from the risk management committee?
No, we did not meet.
Okay, anything from facilities?
Yes.
Okay. Who's in the hot seat for facilities tonight?
Well, just the information from Monday. Should I?
Is-
share?
Oh no.
That might,
Is that Cheryl or Michelle?
well, that I don't know because it's a contract. Lindsay,
Has it
we
been
can
signed?
address it since we've all.
Has it been signed?
Yeah, they signed it Monday.
Not by us, by the facilities
No,
board.
we wouldn't sign it. Mm-mm.
And
So I-
everything's been approved from all the necessary approvals are in place.
Yes.
I mean, why are we waiting to share it?
Yeah, I
I
just
don't
want.
think there's any reason why you can't share it. It's not confidential.
Yes.
I just
Public
wanted to
record.
make.
As long as it's signed, yeah.
Okay. Well, we have funding for our building.
Yay!
We have funding for our building, and we are very excited. Bids went out on Monday. The facilities board voted to approve the funding, and that took place on Monday. And they will begin the process of collecting bids, and we hope to have that part of it completed by July 17th. And then we will move forward from there with planning the next stages of what comes. But go ahead and get ready because carpool is going to be disrupted.
Okay.
Not really sure how we're
We
going to do all
still,
that.
for the record, want to put it on record for any parent out there. We still have the best carpool in the county, and it's not even close.
100%. And we will still have the best carpool. Just pattern's going to be a little different because we've got a lot of equipment we've got to get ready to start staging. But we
So long as all parents follow the rules, everything will go great.
They need to watch the Cougar Car video.
yes. Everybody loves the Cougar Car video.
Although I have to figure out a new carpool this year. I have no idea. I've got to watch the new Cougar Car video.
Look at us being such good, strong advocates here for things.
Love it. Makes my heart happy. Great.
Okay. Strategic
Dr.
planning.
That's very exciting. But just to clarify, when you say we've secured funding, you mean we've secured a loan, correct?
We have secured a loan.
Yeah.
Yes. A loan. Yes.
Okay. Strategic planning did not meet, correct, Benji?
That is correct. We won't
Okay.
need to meet until after the academic results are out.
All right, which I can't wait to see them. And then for new business, we'll roll through this very quickly. So we need to renew terms for all board members with the exception of Mr. Kaiser. His term is still intact. What I'll do, I'm going to run down a list of who needs renewal and for what terms and periods. And then we can.
Oh gosh, I don't know what I did. I literally was just standing there.
That was great. That was excellent.
I don't even know how did I do? Is it there's some
I think
hand
that
signals you
Jason
get.
wants to be like nominated to do
No, that
everything.
is not
I think
what that
so.
meant.
He's a rock
Those were
star.
the balloons. Those were my celebratory balloons for finishing my term on the for financial oversight right there. That's what that is.
Jason gets board member of the meeting.
Oh, there it goes again. It must be something I'm doing with. Okay, stop.
Okay.
Your
I'm
children
gonna
been
go-
playing with the computer.
I'm going to go through and list the terms for each individual, and then I will entertain a motion. I think that'll be the most efficient way. Entertain a motion to approve those. So for Nicole Booker, her term expires June 30th, 2025. New term would be for a single year term from July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. For myself, it would be a single year term beginning July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. For Jason Geip, I take that as a vote of approval. I don't know where it came from, but it's a vote of approval. Jason Geip, July 1st of 2025 through June 30th of 2027. That would be a second year term. Then, 2-year term. Jeremy would be from July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2027. Same with Lindsay, July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2027. And then for Benji would be July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. I will entertain a motion to approve those board member renewals.
I move to approve the board member renewals.
Do we have a second?
Can anybody even second since everybody else is on there?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, no, Mr. Kaiser might be the only one that can vote first and second vote on it.
Probably
So,
so.
keep your lies in your hands, Mr.
So
Kaiser.
Benji has seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I will go ahead and call for a vote. Nicole?
Aye.
Jason?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Benji?
Aye.
And yes, so technically we are a self-perpetuating board, so yes, it's okay if we second. All right, so then next we need to elect our officers, which would be for July 1, 2025 through July 30th of 2026.
June 30th.
June 3rd, yes, June 30th, 2026. So I would like to make a motion to for vice chair as Nicole Booker, secretary Lindsay Spain, and Jeremy Pierce as our treasurer.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, I will go ahead and call for a vote. Nicole?
Aye.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Did that include the
Madam
chair?
Court reporter.
Did it
No,
include the
no.
chair? It just
No,
included
it
vice
did not.
chair? Okay.
Vice
All right.
chair, treasurer, and secretary.
Okay, did you get my vote?
Nicole voted aye.
Chris
Jason?
votes aye. No.
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Lindsay?
You can't have an eye with a question mark, Jeremy.
Did Lindsay vote aye? Okay. Benji?
Aye.
I'll vote aye as well. Motion carries. And so, yes,
Who
ma'am.
seconded that motion?
Benji?
Oh, great. Okay.
And I'd like to make a motion to appoint Michelle Denning as chair.
I will second that motion.
Oh,
I
actually,
third.
it was Chris. Did Chris second the motion?
No,
I don't know who seconded the motion.
no, I third the motion.
We can tell it's almost 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are not a good group past 8:30.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Absolutely
showing
not.
our age.
Okay, so hearing none, I'll go ahead and call for a vote. Nicole,
Aye.
Jason, Chris,
Aye.
Jeremy,
All right.
Lindsay,
Aye.
Benji.
Aye.
Motion carries. And I think that concludes all of our business for the evening. So since we have concluded all of our business, I'm going to adjourn our June 24th, 2025 board meeting at 8:49 p.m.
Thank God.
Good night, everyone.
My dogs are about to like
Good
attack me.
night.
So
Bye, everybody.
bye, y'all.
Have a good night. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.